is Samson Waweru, the Executive Director of Kenya Society for the Blind. And Kenya Society for the Blind is a statutory body established in 1956 through an act of parliament to promote education, training, rehabilitation, employment and welfare of the blind, and to create awareness and advise government and private institutions on all matters pertaining visual impairment. Today is a very significant day in the lives of the persons who have visual impairments, because we are commemorating World Braille Day. This is a very important day when we remember the inventor of Braille, that is Louis Braille, who came up with this system of reading and writing that uses raised dots on a flat surface to enable persons with blindness access education, employment, and makes them be able to read each and every book. So as a society, we are really here to encourage and to also create awareness on the importance of Braille. Our work around Braille has been going on for many years, and to begin with, Kenya Society for the Blind is one of the organizations in this country that has promoted the usage of Braille in schools by establishing integrated units or integrated education in mainstream schools. Within these units, we built up resource centers and equipped the resource centers with Braille devices, Braille machines, Braille paper, and Braille books for the learners to be able to access education on an equal and level playing field with other learners. Secondly, we have also been able to push for Braille materials to be recognized even in our constitution, both Article 7 and Article 54, that recognized sign language and Braille as official languages in this country. And secondly, Braille has also enabled persons with disabilities access information in many government institutions, because Kenya Society for the Blind does service charters, Braille service charters for government agencies. We Braille policies for government agencies. We Braille the Constitution, because government and the Constitution requirement for public participation and access to information requires that persons who are blind also access these critical documents in formats that are accessible to them. And so KSB has also been in that space. We have a Braille production unit at KSB that does all this work. We've partnered also with development partners like the British Council and the UK government in making digital content accessible so that visually impaired people can learn digital skills using manuals that are also accessible in Braille and also other formats. But above all, Kenya Society for the Blind stands for Braille and usage of Braille by blind persons, including the introduction of electronic devices like this note taker. The note taker is one of our first device because it uses electronic Braille, and still when I put information on this flash disk, it can be extracted in print. I'm reading Braille and I can remove the flash and use print. This is important because when we used to Braille our exams in the university, it had to be taken to a transcriber for it to be translated and to be written on top in what we call the Brailing, so that the lecturers are able to mark. But these remarkable devices enable us to be able to write in Braille, do our work in Braille, and produce that work in a flash disk in print, and which makes us, it really makes us inclusive, because if this can happen, then it means persons who are blind will not have the problem of having to wait for long before their exams are marked, before they get to communicate, before their work gets to be looked at. And finally, the greatest challenge we are facing as Braille users is the affordability of Braille devices. To begin with, you will see a Braille machine in the Braille production unit. It is 160,000 currently, and yet that is the pen that sighted people use, which is around 25 shillings. So this disadvantages learners who cannot afford these kind of devices. So we have a big gap to try and see how we can do. The device I'm using here, this Braille note taker, is around $6,000. Also not affordable for many blind persons because the price is prohibitive. Yet these devices make life easier. It is our call to the government, private entities, development partners, churches to promote usage of Braille in all facets of the society so as to make blind and visually impaired people access information on an equal basis with all persons in this country and globally.